Hi friends, this is Dr. Vatiri and welcome back. This is week number 3 of our Genesis Life Wellness Program, and I'm very excited that you're still here learning and being able to increase your knowledge on how you're going to get well and stay well. Remember, this program is more about overall wellness than just losing a few pounds or getting that body fat down to that ideal percentage. It's about getting well, staying well, being well, and eventually being able to teach other people how to be well by your example of just being in good health. Now this week we're going to focus on the necessity of having a properly functioning nervous system. This is not about your psychological system. This is about how the nerves that are originating in your brain control and coordinate every single organ, every single muscle and gland in your body to cause your body to function at its maximum potential. Now, if you viewed our short PowerPoint presentation that's in the chiropractic section of our website here, you would have saw in a broad stroke sense how the brain and the nerves that come from the brain control and coordinate all the body parts that are vital for your overall function. Today, in this lesson, I want to speak more directly in giving you the ability to understand the physiology of how the neurological system works and how the anatomy affects it. Now, the brain itself is part of what we call the central nervous system. The brain, which is your cerebral cortex and your cerebellum and then your midbrain, is the beginning of your central nervous system. The midbrain then comes down into your spinal cord, which goes all the way the length of your spinal column. Together, that's called your central nervous system. Now, all the nerves that exit from your spinal cord or from other areas of your midbrain, which is in the upper part of your neck, or cranial nerves, as it comes out to the organs and glands into your body, it's now called your peripheral nervous system, meaning that it's away from the central part of your nervous system. Now, the function of the brain primarily is to control and coordinate every single function in your body. Every action in your body, every reaction that your body makes, every stimulus that comes into your body, and every thought that's processed in your head. Every time you eat food, every time you breathe, there's always some type of coordination between your brain and that body part because of stimulus and signals that are generated in the brain. Now, your brain, as we learned in our previous tape, has 3 different types of intelligence that's controlling and coordinating its action and its function. And we're going to speak briefly on those different types of intelligence. But the first thing we want to do is just get a broad stroke of the physiology of the brain. So, for example, inside your brain, a thought process is generated, and the thought process may say, okay, it's time to go to work, or it's time to catch the bus, or it's time to do some arithmetic. And your brain will talk to your educated mind, and you'll have this conversation basically with yourself, and actions occur through the muscles of your body, and you proceed through the day thinking and speaking and talking and interacting, and that's all part of your educated mind. And we'll touch more on that later on. The part of that brain and neurological system and that intelligence I really want to speak about in this topic, in the control and coordination, is that inside your brain, a action potential or a neurological signal, a message is generated, and that message travels from your brain through your spinal cord, out from the spinal cord to a specific organ or a muscle or a gland. And that neurological signal is going to tell that specific body part, be it a muscle, organ, or a gland, what to do, how to do it. If it's a gland, it'll tell it how much hormones to release. If it's going to your stomach, it'll tell your stomach how much enzymes to release. If it's digesting food, it will give your body different coordinating signals in order to make it function. It can cause your heart rate to increase. It can cause your respiration to slow down. It can cause your pancreas to produce more enzymes during the digestive process. It can cause your blood pressure to go up. It can cause every little function that you could possibly think of. The coordination of how much blood sugar is going on in your body. It's all controlled and coordinated by a massive amount of neurological signals that are going from your brain through your spinal cord and out to every single muscle, organ, and gland in your body. Now, if that connection from your brain to your body is working properly. That means there's no interference. The communication is going from your brain through your spinal cord and out from your spinal cord between your spinal column to every single part of your body without any interference. That would cause your body to have the potential of working as close to 100% as possible, because that is the signal. That is the signal that causes it to work. So if you're sitting in your room and your lights are on, and I'm sitting here in my den speaking to you over my computer, I have my lights on and my computer's on. And the reason why it's working is that the electrical signal that's going to these components, to these light bulbs that are around me, are working at 100%. And the light bulb on my right is a 60-watt bulb, and there's a 120-watt bulb over there, and the floodlight has another 140 watts. And if that electrical signal is going to these light bulbs at its maximum potential, these lights are going to work the way they should. My computer is going to work the way they should. If there's no interference, everything that's connected to these electrical systems are going to work the way they should. But if some reason there is some interference to the signal that's going to any of these electrical components, if that interference is strong enough, my screen may get foggy, my lights may flicker, something is not going to work properly because of an interference to the neurological flow, to an interference to the electrical flow, which is similar to an interference that would be in the neurological flow. So the correlation is that your brain controls and coordinates information continuously communicating with your body, and then your body, be it the muscle, organ, or the gland, will send a neurological signal back through the nerves, up the spinal cord, into the brain to communicate to the brain. So there's this constant communication between your brain and your body and your brain in order to keep your body healthy. That balance is called homeostasis, meaning that your body is going to be working at a normal level in order to ensure your optimal wellness. Now, the intelligence that's connected to this is called your innate intelligence. The innate intelligence is what causes your body to do what it normally does. It causes your heart to beat at a certain rate. It causes your stomach to digest food with a certain amount of signals, causing the stimulus of enzymes to be produced into the stomach. It causes your liver to produce the multitude of functions that the liver does, regulating cholesterol levels, the metabolism of sugars, the storage of vitamins, all the processes that are done in your large intestines. Everything is controlled and coordinated through the innate intelligence that's running through your neurological system from your brain to your body. And again, if there's no interference, your body has its optimal chance of being well. Now, the premise that we want to accomplish is wellness. And you have no choice. You have no active decision in controlling your innate intelligence. You cannot consciously change your innate intelligence. Is the ability of your innate intelligence to function your body, or cause your body to function either healthier or maybe unhealthy. Now, you can have a multitude of negative psychological thoughts that will increase your body's stress response, producing abnormal levels of hormones and enzymes to be produced into your body, which will eventually get you to be sick. But if all things being equal, that neurological signal from your brain to your body should control and coordinate your muscles, organs, and glands to function properly. When that occurs, that is your best opportunity to be healthy. And that's what we're looking to do. We're looking to be healthy. Now, let's add a little bit of anatomy to this picture. Your brain is encased in a hard bone called the skull. And the purpose of your skull, and the way God designed the skull, even though it starts off as several bones that eventually fuse together, by the time you're just a few years old, most of that cranial structure is one solid bone protecting your brain. And why not? Because your brain is the most important part of your entire body. You can have replacements in other organs. You can get a heart transplant and a kidney transplant and a liver transplant, but you cannot, and even though I wish maybe it was possible for some people to get a brain transplant, but that's not possible. You are your brain. You are your neurological system. Now, the spinal cord, which emanates from the brain, goes down your spinal column, which consists of 25 movable segments called the vertebrae, and the sacrum, which is at the base of your spine, which is responsible for protecting that spinal cord. But if you notice, if you just put your hand behind your neck and you wiggle your neck around, you'll feel the bones moving. Now, for some people that may be a little creepy, but understand this. If God did not design your spinal column to be segmented into multiple parts, you wouldn't be able to move. You wouldn't be able to turn your head. You wouldn't be able to look down. You wouldn't even, if you dropped a pencil on the floor, you would have to, I don't know how you'd have to get it. You'd have to go all the way down to the ground and pick it up because you would have no flexibility and you would not be able to bend. Now, in between each one of the vertebrae are cushiony or cushion-like segments called intervertebral discs. And people may be familiar with that because of the term slip disc or herniated disc, more from the negative perspective than the positive perspective. But what a disc does, it allows the spinal column to be flexible. Okay, it is the pivot points where the bones, if you feel your spine moving, it's moving because the bones, of course, don't bend, but the flexibility of the discs allow that spinal column to move. Now, in and amongst this entire spinal column, going from the base of your skull all the way down to your sacrum, which is in between your pelvis, all the way down to the lowest part of your back, in between those segments, the spinal nerves come out from the spinal cord out to every single part of your body. And as that nerve comes out, it splits off into several branches, and the branches will go to different muscles, organs, glands, and some of those signals will be carrying motor function, meaning your ability to use your muscles. Some of those nerves will have sensory function, meaning your ability to feel, and even in those functions are broken up into several other types of nerve, because some of those nerves will pick up objects that are cold, objects that are warm. It'll pick up if something is vibrating. It even gives you a sense of where you are in space, not meaning outer space, but where you are right here. The object of taking your finger and putting it on the tip of your nose when your eyes are closed is called proprioception. It's your ability to know where you are in your environment. Okay, so that's why when people that are pulled over for drinking while driving their car, what the police officer is doing is checking that person's ability to cause that part of their neurological system to work properly. And if you're drunk, that's impaired, and you may be poking yourself in the eye instead of your nose because that neurological signal, or that signal, is being interrupted by the alcohol in the blood. Now, if, for example, that spine is balanced the way it should be, it's moving the way it should be, it's actually protecting all the nerves that come out from the spine, you will have your best ability, or the best ability of your spine, to protect the neurological system and therefore allow those nerves to get to where they have to go without any interference. Okay? When there's no interference to the spine, your spine has its best opportunity to protect the nerves, and then your overall health is enhanced, because without the interference, the signal from the brain to the body reaches its destination, and that signal causes that body part to do its proper function, and in the end causes your body's ability to be healthy increases. Now, some people may say, well, why have I heard that some chiropractors claim that if you have a healthy spine, it can affect the function of all the parts of your body? Now, that may sound a little foreign to people, because we're under the impression that when we're sick, that we need to put something in our mouth, a pill, a drug, a potion, and that chemical is going to do something in our body to help us get well. The premise is actually the opposite of that. If you allow your body to have no neurological interference, and you do the other factors that we're learning in our Genesis Life Wellness program, you have the ability to be healthy, meaning that if you're eating right and you're exercising and you're drinking plenty of water, you're taking your supplementation, you're de-stressing yourself, you're getting your sleep, you're doing your breathing exercises, if you're doing all those things properly, okay, along with a properly functioning nervous system, you have your best opportunity to be healthy from the inside out. Now again, we're functioning from wellness from the inside out. Actually, the power comes from above down, meaning from your neurological system in your brain, through your spine, out to your body, causing your body to function properly, and then the neurological system causes that entire body to function the way it should be. Then if we have our other factors going properly, eating right, exercising, and etc., it gives you your best opportunity to be healthy. Okay?